Sure. As always, appreciate you guys for having interest in the football program here, and thanks for joining us. Recap Towson. I thought we played a really clean game early. When it came to kind of our margin, we call our margin of error on the offensive side of the ball. We were able to get some young guys meaningful minutes to develop our depth for our team. And as always, as I told our team, it's great, to close the non-conference chapter of our season out 3-0. And again, that's a testament to the work that those guys put in. Now it's time to put our attention on Big Ten play, which is the new season for us. And we all know winning on the road in the Big Ten is hard. It's tough to do week in and week out. Wisconsin is a great home environment. They got a great place to go play a football game. It's when you come to play it here at Maryland, it's the type of environment you like and want to go compete in. They've got a history of being one of the more physical teams in this league. So as I told our team yesterday, there'll be a great measuring stick for us and what kind of team we have and what type of team we can be. But I'm excited for what this game creates for us as we enter the Big Ten season. Opportunity for us to learn who we are together on the road for the first time, opportunity to face adversity in a tough environment, which we're looking forward to seeing. Also an opportunity to test ourselves against a really good opponent in Wisconsin, who's coming off of a 2-1 non-conference season, played a big game a week ago against a good Alabama team. Our game captains leading us into this will be Dylan Fontes, DJ Samuels, and Leon Houghton. And with that, I'll open it up to whatever questions you guys have.
Assuming Billy goes on Saturday, and I'm guessing you guys are acting, how do you go about putting the relationship you have with him kind of on the shelf as you prepare for the game? And do you suspect, as the kickoff approaches and you see him on the field, the emotions might be a little bit different than any other game?
No. To all of those, we're going to prepare as if Billy's going to play. They've also shown they give the capable guy that has come in and won some games for them also. So, it's not our job to figure that piece out. We just got to prepare our team for their offense. It's not about Billy. It's not about me. It's not about Maryland. And we've always kept it that way. Our standard will continue to kind of lead us in how we prepare the opponent, the names, who we play doesn't matter. It's kind of what we've got to do, and we've kept that thing up pretty good. And I think it's worked. It served us well, so we'll keep going that direction.
Hey, Coach. For Malik, this is his first collegiate road game, and what you just said right there, it's going to be a pretty good environment at Wisconsin. What sort of nerves do you expect for a young player like him in their first road game, and is there anything that you guys as a staff do to prepare him for that environment?
Yeah, we do the same thing that we do with all first-year players. It is a great environment to play a football game. Most of us as a coaching staff, some of us as players have been there. And so we'll pipe the crowd noise in, which our communication can handle the noise from that standpoint. You can't mimic or show what it will be like. But what I've learned about Malik Washington pretty early is that I haven't seen it ever be too big. I think we've done a really good job in how we've brought him along and so that it isn't about him and being too big. And so we'll continue to do that. But this is why I've kind of said this will be a great barometer for what kind of team we have and what type of team we can be.
Mike, special teams had a block punt last week that you guys were then able to turn into points. A new coordinator on that side of the ball this year. How encouraging is it for you guys to have that success this early in the season? And what sort of weapon do you envision the kicking game to be for you guys this fall?
Yeah, no, there's no doubt bringing Dre back here and having worked with him before in this capacity, but now even more with just his unique role now of just focusing on special teams. Him and Chili, Coach Davis, both do a tremendous job in collaborating together with our special teams, and it's paying off. We also got some talented players. I've talked about a young guy like Masai Delhomme who blocked the punt as a good young football player that's in our program that we think has had a chance to be pretty special. The week ago, he did his job in the fake punt the fake punt return where we were able to get the ball on the ground. So it's good to see young players having an impact in their game on special teams. Andre and Chile have done a tremendous job from a scheme standpoint, and it definitely helps when, the goal is for us to score or set up a score, and we've done that the last couple of weeks.
And Wisconsin is one of those schools in the Big Ten that has developed this brand for years, for the last 30 years, yes. Yeah. Well, while they've evolved with the game, what is the biggest challenge facing their style of ball on a Saturday afternoon?
I mean, they're a typical Big Ten physicality that comes with their brand, and it's what we've tried to position ourselves to become more like. Everybody knows that we have athletes and we can throw the ball, but in the Big Ten, you got to win running the football in tough environments, during tough times with tough weather, and so we're working, and we've started to build again our team to fit that type of team that we're going to have at some point. They're a physical team on both sides of the line of scrimmage. They've got length and size. They're well coached. I mean, Luke Fickell's had his team in the playoffs. He's a guy that I've competed against, whether it's in recruiting at his time at Ohio State or when he became the interim head coach. A lot of respect for the way he develops his team and his program, and they're one of the blue bloods of the Big Ten, so great opportunity.
Hey, Coach. You just talked about being able to run the football. Wisconsin's defense is top 5 in the country in yards per carry, and Alabama obviously just threw for, I think, over 350 yards. How much do you guys want to go into this game trying to establish the run versus just kind of, embracing your team's strength so far this season, which has been passing it?
It's always what I said about creating balance, being able to do both well when you have to. We have a system that allows us to, if we add RPOs, it helps the run game. If we decide to take them off, it develops us as the physicality where, when you talk about physicality, it's basically numbers. It's you running into numbers and one guy beating another guy and making a play. And to me, that's kind of what we've started to develop, again, this mentality, because we know that at some point in the Big Ten, you're going to get into a fight in a phone booth, and we're developing that mentality, and that's why a game against Wisconsin on the road as an opener for us is a really great measuring stick for our team.
And then just kind of what Gene talked about earlier, you talked about a Big Ten Media Day. They asked you, what it would be like to face Billy again. You said you dealt with abandonment a little bit different, that you kind of didn't put a ton of energy into him. Do you still feel the same way as game week kind of approaches?
I mean, I block guys on Twitter. I'll block you, Sam. I'm telling you, I'm petty, and I tell us not to read it, but sometimes you get bored and you just start blocking people. But when I say abandonment, you know what? Billy was a good football player during his time here. This is the new football. This is the landscape we're in. We're not preparing any different because Billy's on that sideline. I guess that's the point I'm trying to make. And our team has a standard for what we've got to do to prepare to win a game like this. And for me, the goal is to meet that standard today, Wednesday, Thursday, how we travel Friday, and then go out Saturday. And a lot of these questions will be answered at the end of the game. Looking forward to answering them.
Hello, Coach.
D, what's up? Whew. Got D. D always make me feel good when she asks questions. Usually a softball.
Yeah, so switch it up here a little bit. All 3 phases, you guys are, young, right? And so how do you see some of the senior players kind of leaning in on the guys as they prepare to go on the road for the first time?
Yeah, I think it showed up even on Saturday. I can remember when our defense gave up that long touchdown pass, before they could get off the field, Jalen Husky, 22, was up and had the defense called up before they were walking off the field, saying that's not what our standard is. He sounded like a coach, and so to see the older guys in our program embrace that type of leadership, it's growing. It's as I told, this team is growing right before my eyes as the coach, because every week is another opportunity for them to learn, get tools in the toolbox, and I like the direction that they're going. And this week will be really, really good for us to see just what kind of team we've got.
Hey, Mike.
George.
Wisconsin, 300-plus pounds across the offensive and defensive fronts. You kind of mentioned becoming more like them. It seems, at least to me, that your team looks closer to those Minnesotas, those Wisconsins, Nebraskas on the line there. As you've been going through planning and looking at the matchups this week, does it feel like that to you, that you're closer to that style big traditional Big Ten football, for lack of a better term?
I mean, we've increased our length and we've increased our size in both lines of scrimmage. We may not have the depth just yet, but I think we all are facing. I think they're playing 3 young guys on their offensive line, which, again, it's the way it is. It's developed them now, and so we're starting to have the size. We've been able to recruit guys. When you recruit freshmen that look like 9 and 29, like they're coming in with the right kind of bodies, and so the goal is to be able to match up, and we haven't always been able to do that. But I think that when you look at the way this roster and teams being put together, you see the difference, and that's why this will be a great opportunity to see just what kind of team we have.
Coach, you talked about the kickoff team being a place that you wanted to see improvement after the opener, and things seem to have steadily improved, sort of capping off with that opening play against Towson. What have you seen from the unit that you have liked the most? And specifically, can you touch on Phillip Noyes taking kickoffs, why that's been, and how you felt about him?
Is that your cousin? Noyes?
It's
No.
not.
All right. There's a feel-good story about Phillip Noyes. All right. Well, first of all, from game 1 to this game, there's no doubt the kickoff, as you described, has improved, and it starts with getting the ball up in the air. I mean, he's got a strong leg. I think for him, it's what you will see, the typical growth of an inexperienced or young player. He's a guy that hadn't kicked ever before in the game here, and he's thrust with that opportunity. And I would venture to say that if you were going to be judged by 50,000 people and however many watching on TV, you get a little tight. And I think the more he kept doing it, the better he got. And now it's become a confidence thing where he's getting the ball up in the air, giving us a chance with the type of covered unit we have to get down and be able to get the ball tackled, which, that was a big play for us a week ago, that opening kickoff, putting it in the sweet spot of where it's returnable. And our guys doing a good job of getting down and covering it.
But so the difference between Phillip and Sean, you were just putting down to like strength at this point? That's the reasoning for that?
No, we have a guy that kicks off the best. We have a guy that makes field goals. Those two are 2 separate positions, and some guys do both. We've chosen to use Sean as just our field goal kicker as his strength, and Phillip's leg strength gives us the weapon that we're looking for as a kickoff guy.
Mike, last year Indiana surprised many people, getting to the top 10 and then playing in the college football playoff. Illinois is doing it this year, getting in the top 10. Do those 2 recent examples give you hope that Maryland could follow that same path?
I mean, it's always good to see what parity looks like in this league, and I think when you look at the way both those programs have been positioned or resourced in the Big Ten, you see where it's happening. I've spent time at Illinois, so I understand that area. I do think it gives a lot of us in the Big Ten the hopes of that as long as we are able to get the right guys on the field, and we do a great job of coaches of putting them in the best position. I mean, Brett, I got a lot of respect for him as a coach, obviously, and then Kurt over at Indiana. Again, we're from the same family tree, and it's good to see that in college football.
Hey, Coach. Lakai Rowland made sure to credit Sidney Stewart for getting the pressure that helped cause that pick 6. In your words, how does the pass rush, how does the improved pass rush help the back end do their job, and how have you seen those units work together so far this
There's
season?
been a lot of collaboration, and we do a good, bad, and ugly tape every Monday where I get to coach the whole team. And the last couple of weeks, we've had plays in there where we've got sacks on 4-man rushes. And I think I said this earlier in camp that when you're able to rush 4 and get pressure on the quarterback, it makes the back end's job really easier. Well, I also saw places where the last 2 weeks we've done a really good job in coverage and how sticky we've been in our coverage, which has allowed the rush time to get there. And so they've worked really well. Ted and the defensive staff have done a really good job of putting blitz patterns together and finding ways to create one-on-ones for some of our talented pass rushers that we'll get a chance to see continue to grow.
Coach right here.
What's up, man?
Just talked a little bit about building the changing landscape of college athletics. On the other side, you got a Shaleak Knotts, who's now a senior, been here for 4 years, waited his turn behind NFL receivers. What has that development been like for Shaleak, who now leads the team in receiving yards and touchdowns?
Yeah, for Punch, it's like I said, it's what I always envisioned. I would hope it would have happened a year or two earlier for him, but, he has run his own race, and I think what you're seeing is there's still two sides to this landscape. You still have guys that are going to be in your program for 4 years that you want to see come in as boys and leave as men. And there's no doubt in my mind, I've watched Punch come stand up here in front of you guys and just blow me away of the maturity that he shows. And it's a byproduct of hopefully the time that he spent here in our program, but even more a testament to the resolve that kid has.
In terms of maintaining a culture, how important are four-year guys to knowing what Maryland football is and what the standards should be?
That starts with me and our staff, making sure that culture doesn't change in the messaging. And to me, as long as I've been here, we've talked about what our pillars and our standards are. What we've got to do now and what we have done is pivot it to how do we expedite teaching the standard. And we've seen that because we've got 64 players that never played a down together, played the last 3 games, and I see the growth out of that group. And the more they play together, the better they'll be. And that's why this week against Wisconsin, this will be a great opportunity for us to see just kind of what kind of team we have a chance to be.
Hey, Coach, just following up from last week, you kind of talked about how the program's shifted from a developmental mindset to more of a win-now mindset.
Right.
Can you just expand upon that? Like, how has this year kind of been different in that regard?
As I've said before, and I don't hide behind it, when you pay people to do a job, people have a different expectation. And I know that as an adult, but this is part of the landscape teaching that goes on in our program because we have players that people know they make money. And so the day of saying, hey, it's okay to drop it on 3rd and 2 because you're a freshman and next year we'll get it, we don't have time for it. So we all have the pressure of having to perform at a higher level as quickly as we possibly can. And to me, that has been brought down to that level where our players understand that they have jobs to do and that they have expectations that we can't wait until next year. I need it from them now.
How do you kind of balance that, though? Obviously, a lot of freshmen.
You don't balance it. It's what they have to do. I
Even
can't
with the
negotiate
newcomers, like
it.
the
I
freshmen?
can't negotiate. Even the freshmen. You can't negotiate that standard. They all are coming in and they know what their expectations are. They know what the expectations are in our program, and we're not going to negotiate off of that. We're going to love them until they get it right, but we're going to push the buttons to get it done now.
Yeah, Coach, first of all, congrats on the 3-0 start.
Thank you. Wow.
Somebody's got to say it. I mean,
I like them. I'm glad you do.
when you have a talent like Malik, and I think it's clear now that he's a talent and he's mature and he's smart and he's improved each week in my eyes, do you fear putting him in the running game, number one? And number two, we somehow or another in 3 weeks we haven't seen a tush-push situation. Is that in the playbook per se? And because it's
we
been a
can't
factor.
just give all of our secrets up out here about what's in the playbook and what we're going to do in 3rd and 1, but everybody has Q sneak, whether it's the tush push, the tempo sneak, and we all have those things. We've been intentional in what we've done in some of those situations to where we test and try to see and figure out the best groupings that gives us the best chance on that down and distance. When it comes to Malik in the run game, I think you saw aspects of it last week. As I've said, he missed some opportunity during training camp with some lower leg extremities. Our job was to keep him kind of upright. There's ways in our system to take pressure off the quarterback from having to run. But I think anybody that has seen him play knows that his dual threat capabilities are there, and the fact that he's shown that he can win in the pocket without using his legs has probably added another element to prepare for.
Did he run a lot in high school?
Yeah, he did. He would pull it down and he can go. He can boogie. He can boogie.
Thank you.
I'm not sure if you
Michael
told.
getting 2 questions, man. He must be an in-house.
I'm not sure if you told this story before, but where did Shaleak get the nickname Punch from?
I don't think I know the story. I just know him as Punch. When we went and did his home visit, I'll never forget because it was one of those brunch midday home visits where Grandma was cooking eggs and bacon and sausage, and they had pancakes, but then they had like potatoes and hams, and it was a good Southern style family brunch. And Punch is Punch. I mean, anybody in that neighborhood, I don't even think they even knew his name was Shaleak. I mean, he was Punch, and I thought it was on his birth certificate. So I don't know where Punch came from. Okay, Grandpa.
Hi, Coach. Congrats on the 3-0 start.
Thank you.
Obviously,
Yeah.
you said earlier that it doesn't really matter on a preparation side, that
Yeah.
Billy is on the other side. But, like, from a defensive, like, scouting standpoint, knowing that there's an uncertainty of who they're going to start at quarterback, does it help that you have a familiarity of the other team's quarterback or one of the two options?
I mean, from a mental makeup, sure. I mean, I spent a lot of time with Billy Edwards. It's been well documented. But the mental makeup of the quarterback, if he were to play, yeah, we know that part about Billy. But we also thought enough of Billy that he was our starter here and did some good things for us a year ago as a starter. So that's no knock against that. But our preparation won't be about Billy, his strengths. It's about Wisconsin's strength. They've got, a trio of running backs with the guy Dylan Jones from right up the road, who, was a big time back. They got 25 coming in, rotating in. They've two grown men at tight end. They've got great length on the edges. Number 8, their return guy, receiver, is a big play threat. Had returned a kick a week ago. A lot of good players. 0 on defense. I mean, he's long, athletic, creates matchup issues. So there's a lot more people than just about Billy and Terps. They got a really good team, and this will be a great opportunity for us to measure our team against a Big Ten blue blood on the road. Thank you very much.